reconvene the Parker Town Council meeting for November 18th at 7:04 p.m. All council members are present with the exception of Councilwoman Renee Williams. Now, before we get rolling, guys, we are honored and privileged to have with us tonight, if I can find the details, let's see here. We've got Cub Scout Pack 841. They're going to be doing the flag ceremony for us. So normally I tell you all what to do. I'm going to be quiet because these wonderful young scouts are going to lead us the way. So scouts, the floor is yours.
Will the audience please rise?
His voice.
Color guard forward march. Scout salute. Those non-mutable uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Color guard hold. Please post the flag of the United States of America. Please post the flag of the state of Colorado. Please join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Color guard retreat. Color guard dismiss. Audience at ease.
Fantastic. That was fantastic. Should have you guys back every week, man. That was great. All right. So next up, council, if you'll indulge me, if we've got a couple items for special presentations. I'm going to kind of reverse things a little bit. Susan, would you come on down for... We're going to have you guys first before our Civic Academy. If you could introduce yourself for the audience, please.
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Town Council members in Parker and former fellow colleagues. I'm Susan Squire, and I serve as Vice Chair of the Douglas County Community Foundation. And I'm here tonight not to talk briefly about the foundation, but also to bring awareness to Colorado Gives Day. But first to tell you that the Douglas County Community Foundation is the only central county-wide resource to highlight the needs in the county, working to identify and inspire local donors, supporting the needs of the local nonprofit organizations, and matching donors with effective local nonprofits, all to improve the quality of life for everyone living in Douglas County. It is that shared vision that the county commissioners identified that supported their decision to donate $100,000 to our work this year. With those funds, we've enhanced operations, outreach, and technical improvements, but most importantly, it's enabled us to hire our first CEO. In the short time that Rochelle Miller has been with us, she has helped us launch a brand new fund called Hearts and Hands. And in 1 year, we received $27,000 in donations that was targeted in grants that were made just last month to support the work of nonprofits in our county toward healthy families. It is my pleasure then to introduce you tonight to Rochelle Miller, who brings not only a wealth of knowledge and experience to our community foundation, but also a very strong work ethic, professionalism, and enthusiasm for what a community foundation can do to enhance our beautiful Douglas County. Rochelle?
Thank you so much, Susan. Mr. Mayor and council members, thank you so much for having us out to speak about Colorado Gives Day today. For 10 years, can you believe it or not, Colorado Gives Day has actually been in action in Douglas County and throughout Colorado. And we have a very short video, if we can show that now. Or I'll keep talking while the video goes. I've really been blessed to be a part of Colorado Gives Day since its inception, and we are really happy that Douglas County Gives and the Douglas County Community Foundation have actually been a part of it since regional partnerships have been a thing. We're almost there. That is not it, though. Okay. I'm just going to keep going then. So since 2015, Douglas County Community Foundation has been the regional partner and the collaborator for all of the Douglas County area. We've been moving philanthropy forward each year with this one single day of giving. And
I don't think that's the right video.
Not United Way of the Ozarks either. Over the years, Colorado Gives Day has raised almost $217 million for nonprofits in Colorado. And although Douglas County is a very generous community, we know many of our gifts have actually leave the community. And we're going to see this right now. This is it.
Oh, not that one.
Close that one.
That's
This,
it. Yes.
this is it?
Okay.
Okay.
Start it again.
I've been married for 12 years. After I left, I tried living with friends. I tried living with
I can hear something in the background, but it doesn't sound like this.
should have no way to say.
No. Do we have any kids in the room who can help?
That's right.
If this was Snapchat, it would be going right now.
I'll keep telling you a little bit about
How about this? Yeah, just keep talking about it,
will.
and then if we could get the link emailed to all of us, we can take a
You
look
do,
at it from
you,
there.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. We have a few that are specific, a few of our nonprofits that join us this year. We have over almost 50 nonprofits that are involved right here in Douglas County. Some of the ones that are specific to Parker are the Parker Task Force, the Parker Senior Center, SECOR, Invisible Disabilities Association, Hope Held by a Horse, the Colorado Pregnancy and Newborn Loss Services, and the Rocky Mountain Cocker Rescue, and Rosie's Ranch that are very specific. There are several that are county-wide that are also very active, but those are very specific to Parker here.
Wonderful.
We're just going to keep
technical
moving.
difficulties
I know.
always
This is
happen.
such an impactful video, too, and it is on our website if you'd like to see it. It's dccf.org, and it is on our Douglas County Gives page, where you can see a complete listing of all of the nonprofits that are involved this year. We know Douglas County can add to its list of notables. We are the healthiest and the wealthiest in the area, and we now have the opportunity to be the most philanthropic and the most giving. Please help us remind folks to give where you live on December 10th, our 10th anniversary on December 10th. You can also pre-schedule donations, and you can encourage your friends and family to pre-schedule donations and really look at those agencies that do really amazing work right here in Douglas County. The other ways you can support us is you can share these wonderful videos and slides. You can put them on your social media, and you can give early as well and earn yourself a I Gave Early to Colorado Gives Day badge that you can wear proudly on all your social media as well. Thank you again for having us out here. Thank you so much for promoting Colorado Gives Day. Thank you for helping us further the work of all the nonprofits here in Douglas County. It is something that we are very proud to do. We do it year-round through trainings and supports of boards of directors within those nonprofits, and this is the one day we really get to shine a light on all the good work being done here in our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Council, do you have any questions? Josh?
Just a point, there was a quick glimpse on the slide, and I just want to restate that Douglas County is one of the most gracious counties, definitely in the state and probably in the nation. But since 2010, $12 million donated from Douglas County to Colorado Gives Day. Only $5 million has stayed in Douglas County. And sometimes there's a misconception, as wonderful and what a slice of heaven we have, there still is need in this county. So the Senior Center, Rosie's Ranch, the Parker Task Force, the Crisis Center, there are plenty of worthy causes in Douglas County. I'm not taking away from United Way or any of the big houses, but let's try to keep it local first. And if we have surplus, then by all means, send it up the highway.
Absolutely. I'd like to second that because as everyone has heard all of us speak many, many times on the importance of shopping local. It's also important to give local, have that impact on the community that you serve or that serves you here locally. So thank you very much for all the efforts you put forth. Okay.
So I would like to wrap up with the plug that, when we talk about marketing and getting the message out, it's called reach and frequency. So we have forwarded the media kit to your staff and hope that they will use it and send out a message multiple times leading up to Colorado Gives Day to really give where you live. Wonderful. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
I wondered,
Yes.
Council, I wonder if we could think about an ordinance possibly in support of Colorado Gives and Douglas County
resolution?
Foundation. A resolution, excuse me.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that next week.
If I could add, the commissioners will be making a proclamation that day, and we're visiting them at their business meeting tomorrow, and we could share a copy of it with you.
Please do.
If you'd like.
That would be awesome. Thank you
Good to
very
see you,
much.
Susan.
Thank you. All right, Council, if you'll indulge me, I'm going to come down and actually talk to the audience a little bit here. Next up for special presentations, one of the cool things that we do here in Parker is we've got a great program called our Parker Civic Academy. And I know most of you are here just because you wanted to see us talk tonight, or the Scouts, you're not really here for Parker Civic Academy, are you? No, that's okay. I know you guys are all here for that. But that's important for those watching at home on our live stream. A lot of times citizens come to us asking questions about the town, and there's a lot of unknown about what happens in the town of Parker. What does it do? How does it do it? And why does it do it? Well, our Parker Civic Academy is an opportunity for our citizens to come in and learn how their town works, see firsthand all the aspects of what happens in their town. Everything helps give them an understanding of your role as a citizen in local government, gives you an opportunity to network with other citizens, with elected leaders, and also with staff. Gives you an increased awareness of what each town department does. When government's working effectively, you shouldn't really be seeing it much, but this is an opportunity for you to see how the back end works. Gives you insight into advocating for your community with your town government and the knowledge and opportunity to become involved in the town of Parker. So tonight, I've got certificates of completion for those of you who went through the program. So first off, I'm really bad with names. Even though it's spelled out, I'm going to butcher a whole bunch of names. So if I do, please don't be offended. I am not going to run for mayor next year, so I'm not trying to get your votes. So don't even worry about it. But if I call your name, come on down. I'll give you your certificate, and please hang out up here. Cliff Daniel. He was smart to sit in the back. Get through everybody. Thank you. So you can give them a round of applause as they come down. All right, we've got Ralph Datema. I don't want to mess it up too much, right? Robert Davis. Robert goes through the program and is like, I'm out. All right, we're going to start here. Katrina Davis. Yeah. I love it. Congratulations. There you go. And Drake. Thank you very much. Thank you. Dan Ducat or Duckett? Ducat. All right. Jenna, I bet you you're his boss, right? Yes. All right. Greg Ferry. Maybe it's because I'm a car and motorcycle guy, but it's almost Ducati and it's almost Ferrari. Thank you. Lee Fitchner, thank you. Jason Goach. If there's a Jason, the last name is a G, no? Christina Huerton. Now, in all fairness, I know her. I do it every time. There you go, dear.
Thank you.
Teresa Hawkins Garcia. I know she's. Tim Hicks, come on in. Oh, there you go. Neil Hollington. Nathan Matthews. And Victoria Reed. 2019 Parker Civic Academy graduates, can you please give them a big round of applause? Council, if you could stand up all behind and squeeze on in. Act like you guys like each other. That you have sideways, shoulders. Yeah, exactly. Kids, we need some selfie lessons. How should they stand? excellent. Thank you guys very much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good, I'm on the chair.
Okay, I thought I was pushing back into you.
All right, now Michelle, I believe we don't have any other special presentations tonight? That's it. Okay, cool. All right. Next item up on our agenda is our public comment items. Public comment items for general public comment are considered, or excuse me, I've got two mixes up here. There will be no actions taken on these items. There's a 3-minute time limit. I don't have anyone signed up for public comment, so unless there's anyone here who came in and didn't get their name on the sign-up sheet, we're going to open and close public comment then at 7:18 p.m. and move on to reports, items, and comments from mayor and council. Josh.
Sure, sorry. So, let's see. Busy 2 weeks. I think we were all pretty busy. Usually third week of the month is nuts. Had engineering liaison, had a DBA meeting that I attended in Miss Councilwoman Anderson's absence. And then also I did the Adopt a Street with the DBA, which is great. DBA adopted Pikes Peak from Main Street down to Old Hilltop, or Hess, sorry. And then I had Senior Center Board meeting. Again, great group, moving ahead. They're growing. And I did Sagewood Career Day as a small business owner / elected official for Sagewood Middle School. Always great to talk to the kids and answer their questions. Had the honor of attending Veterans Day at Cimarron Middle School. Great program as usual. And then the highlight of the week was Turkey Day at Public Works, with the staff and the incredible food that the staff can bake for a massive potluck. Great time.
Excellent. Cheryl.
Well, I've been still playing the medical card here, so I have to thank staff and other council members for covering some of the events that I should have been at.
Okay. Jeff.
Let's see, attended Economic Development Liaison with Councilman Rivero. Also attended our biannual meeting of the Greater Parker Foundation today. Not to take away from Colorado Gives or Douglas County Gives, but you can also donate to Parker. We're a 501(c) under the Parker Foundation, so that supports culture, police, anything. You could even buy Tom Williams a new snowplow or a street sweeper. So
I thought you were going to say a blue shirt, because that's kind of like the engineers wear the blue shirt. So
let's see. Also, we attended, 4 of us attended the Chamber of Commerce and Town Council get-together at Barnett and Sons earlier this week. Attended Cimarron Middle School's Veterans Day celebration with the mayor and Councilman Rivero, and also was invited to attend Skyview Academy in Highlands Ranch as their adopted town councilman for the day, that also donated a couple turkeys to them. So their school donated for the, which Rob Nelson and Stacy James here in Parker put on a turkey and black socks to support veterans and their families. Skyview donated $2,600 to that to buy turkeys for them, so it's a pretty big deal. I think that's it for me.
okay. Debbie.
I was one of the 4 members that attended on Thursday night the get-together with the some of the chamber board members, and it was my pleasure to be the mayor's sidekick on Wednesday, where Frontier Valley third graders came to town hall to find out kind of what happens here, and they had, I don't believe there was a seat available. They were
packed.
full. And as Councilman Toberg said, we had the Greater Parker Foundation meeting this afternoon. And if you said this, I apologize, that we recently, in this last several months, had $1,450 donated to the Greater Parker Foundation. And we have Parker, the Cultural and Scientific meeting tomorrow night.
Yeah,
We do.
we do.
We do.
Sorry, Tom, no snowplow for you.
No snowplow. Sorry, brother.
Sorry.
John.
All right. Let's see here. As Councilmember Rivero said, it has been busy. I chaired a Dr. Cogg study session. We talked about common challenges and tried to define those as a region. That's continuing. We talked about a wellness fund, public-private partnership. We're trying to see if the public sector can work with the private sector to fill in some gap coverage. And
From what I understand, the new leadership down in at the State House is looking at front range passenger rail from Fort Collins to Pueblo. It's a very high level concept. Let's see. I also went to Greeley to represent Dr. Cog to an attempt to try to prioritize funding for CDOT within Region 4. I attended the Denver South Economic Development Luncheon. The keynote speaker was the CEO of SAP, Tom McDermott. Very energetic and marketing-driven kind of guy, so it was very fun to watch him. I also attended Melissa Etheridge at the Pace Center. That was one of our bigger acts, and it continues to amaze that we can get people like Melissa Etheridge here in Parker. I was also in E470 at an E470 board meeting where we talked about the High Plains Trail, which is the trail is going to go over Parker Road, just north of Douglas County in Arapahoe County. We figured out who's going to maintain that, and the winners are Arapahoe County and Aurora. So I think we're the winners there. We also talked about toll rates, and the board is going to not increase toll rates next year, so that's a positive for everybody. We also said goodbye to 3 people due to various reasons. Heidi Williams, Mayor of Thornton, is the board's chair. She termed out. Ken Kreutzer of Brighton, he is moving on, and Steve Douglas of Commerce City, he is moving on as well. And in the public interest of common good,
Dang it.
I will give it back to Mayor Wade.
Man.
He put them together.
Thanks a lot. You all good?
I'm good.
Inside joke. He said public interest like 42 times in our meeting before this. and so we were going to.
Josh did.
Josh did. So. All right. So my updates. Did have career day at Sagewood Middle School with Councilman Josh Rivero. That's always fun. I think this is my 11th career day over there, and it's always good to talk with the kids. I was there representing the role of government. Also, Councilwoman Debbie Lewis and I, we had the 3rd graders from Frontier Valley here. That's always a fun one, especially because we have Debbie takes over and handles at the end showing off the mammoth tusk that we have in our lobby. If you haven't seen it yet, you got to check it out. It's pretty cool. And she pulls one of our staff members, Jason Rogers, who's 7 feet tall, and she pulls him in here to demonstrate to the kids that the mammoth was 14 feet tall. So when he stands there, and here's little Debbie next to Jason, if there was 2 Jasons, that's how big the mammoth was. So it's pretty cool. Veterans Day ceremony at Cimarron, if you have not attended that. And I got to say, every year, I used to catch flack for it because my wife used to be a teacher at Sagewood Middle School. And so they would always make fun of me going to Cimarron, but it is an amazing program. This was their 10th anniversary of doing it. And I've been fortunate enough to be at, I think, the last 8 of them. And if you haven't been, you've got to show up for it. It's very moving, very powerful to see. The staff potluck was a lot of fun. The town has, with full-time, part-time, and seasonal employees, upwards of 900 employees. And this is a good opportunity for staff to get together and just hang out, eat some good food. The Public Works crew, nobody makes a turkey as good as these folks do. And there's always they'll have a wild-caught fried turkey, a store-bought fried turkey, you name it, they've got it, and it's a great way to get fat to go see that. So that's always fun. We did have the council get together with the Chamber of Commerce board, which is kind of nice to every so often get together, see how everyone's doing. Last Thursday, the second Thursday of every month, Scouts, this is for you guys, spread the word. The second Thursday of every month is Scouts Night with the mayor here at Town Hall. It's at 4 o'clock in these chambers. If you have your leaders call ahead of time and turn in your names, you'll actually get a certificate, or you can just show up. It's a great opportunity. We're here for an hour for you to work on your badges or ask questions or just hang out with other Scouts. We have Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, Brownies, Explorer Scouts. We've had the whole range come through. It's a whole lot of fun, so definitely spread the word on that. I also had the honor every 2 months, the other mayors from Douglas County and so the mayors of not Larkspur, actually, he doesn't usually make it, but mayors of Lone Tree, Castle Pines, and Castle Rock and we 4 get together once every 2 months in each other's communities to just talk about issues that are happening around with us. It's a good way to collaborate, see what challenges they're having, what challenges we're having, find good ways to support Douglas County and each other. This month it was here in Parker, so we had it at the Parker Garage. And last but not least, I had the honor of getting to meet with Congressman Crow, who came down to Parker to meet with me about how federal funding can work with Parker, specifically in transportation. Parker Road is a state highway, how it can play into those games. And then it's always good to have your federal leaders want to come down and actually acknowledge that there's a place called Parker that they can work with. So that was a load of fun too. I got to show them the Pace Center. It was the day Melissa Etheridge was playing, and I tried to take him backstage, and they were like, her people don't let other people come backstage. And I was like, it's congressmen though. They didn't still care. We still snuck back. It was okay. We broke the rules. Any rate, that's all I got.
Something you need to say in
And I say it out loud? Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. So next up on our agenda, we've got our consent agenda. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with one motion and one vote. There'll be no separate discussion of consent agenda items unless a council member votes to have an item removed for individual discussion. Ordinances on the consent agenda are for introduction only and will not be removed for discussion. So council, in front of you, you've got consent agenda items 5A through 5I.
I move to approve consent agenda items 5A through 5I, please.
Second?
We have a motion from Josh, and we have a second from Debbie. Council, in just a sec, your voting box will pop up, and please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Next item up on our agenda is item 6. These are our ordinances. First up is item 6A. This is ordinance number 3.326.2 on second reading. This is a bill for an ordinance to amend sections 13.06.020, 13.10.160, 13.10.200, and 13.16.040 of the Parker Municipal Code concerning the Town of Parker Development Design Standards. Carolyn, you're going to walk us through it tonight.
Yeah, great. Good evening, Mayor and Town Council. Tonight I'll be presenting an overview of Ordinance 3.326.2 to approve the new development design standards. Ordinance 3.326.2 replaces the town's current commercial, industrial, and multifamily design standards, also known as the CIMF. The ordinance also amends 4 sections of the LDO, the Land Development Ordinance, to reference the new design standards. Due to the increasing concern about the architectural and urban design quality of new development in town, an update to the CIMF was needed. To address concerns, Town Council directed staff to prepare major updates to the standards. Following Town Council direction in 2017, staff contracted with an urban design consultant for the major update. The project was phased into two components. The first phase was the update for the multifamily, which was completed and subsequently adopted in 2018. The second phase was the update of the commercial, industrial, and mixed-use design standards, which are now complete. The updated design standards were combined into one document, and they're now known as the Development Design Standards. A number of public engagement activities were held during the planning process that included 3 design workshops with the community, 2 visual preference surveys, a site bus tour. We held ongoing meetings with various technical committees. We held a public presentation with AIA Colorado, and we held study sessions with Planning Commission and Town Council during key milestones of the project. The Development Design Standards features 3 chapters and will apply to most development in the town except for detached single-family homes, which are governed by the LDO. The Development Design Standards incorporates the values of the Parker 2035 Master Plan, and the recently adopted multifamily standards will still remain in place. Chapter 1, Commercial, Industrial, and Mixed-Use Design Standards features graphics, photos, and preferred site layouts. The chapter also has new definitions, building orientation requirements, building typologies, and standards for renovating existing buildings. The new standards for building orientation emphasize the activation of street frontages of a building's front, side, and rear facades. The standards for commercial development blocks will also require large parcels to be broken down into smaller walkable blocks with internal streets and sidewalks. The new building composition standards will require articulation of the building's front, side, and rear. A building's massing will be broken down through the design of a clear top, middle, and base, use varied roof forms as well as changes in wall planes. The standards will also require enhanced design for building corners, and primary entrances will have storefronts, awnings, or canopies, as well as large windows at the ground floor level. The adopted multifamily standards have not been changed, and they will continue to be the same. The standards feature site design, building composition, orientation, and block layout for various multifamily building types. Chapter 3 covers design standards for a publicly accessible space that address the soft and hardscape elements of exterior spaces of commercial, industrial, and multifamily developments. These standards feature requirements for the design of public spaces, public art, site lighting, and landscape design.
Carolyn, if I could, just real quick, I just want to go back. Multifamily was already changed in phase 1, and so we're not changing more, but it was already changed. I want to make sure that community hears that we are changing, or we have changed multifamily, and there's definitely stricter than they were a few years ago, correct?
Right, yes. So the first component when we rolled the project out in 2017 was we did complete the multifamily standards. We did a complete overhaul, and so we've combined those standards that we finished last year and were adopted into this new, basically it's combining, consolidating all of the new standards together into one document.
Thank you.
So, yep. So I just have a couple more slides. Staff believes that the implementation of the new development design standards will result in higher quality building design, improved site layout, and enhance the public realm, and will also contribute to the hometown feel of Parker. On October 24th, 2019, the Planning Commission recommended that Town Council adopt the Development Design Standards and Ordinance. Therefore, staff recommends that Town Council approve the Development Design Standards and Ordinance 3.326.2. Are there any questions?
Council, any questions? Cheryl?
Carolyn, so you've given us a lot of generalities here. Give me 3 really important changes that are being made.
Okay, so we're addressing building orientation. Currently, the current CIMF standards really did not have, it didn't address building orientation. So we're also addressing the articulation of a building's facade for front, side, and rear. We're also addressing site layout for, let me see, to tell you the third. We also have industrial building design standards, and we've also gone into developing those further so that we are defining building typologies for both commercial and industrial buildings. We're also, we have standards for auto-oriented types of uses, and so that also adds to our new development design standards and provides guidance on those type of developments that come in.
Were there any changes to building height within these different standards?
No, those are addressed through the land development ordinance or the plan development guide.
Thank you.
Okay. Other questions?
No, this has been a process. It has been a huge, I won't say burden. It's been a huge job by staff to complete this. And reading through it, it's outstanding. It's very, very concise. A lot of guidelines. It was a long process through the public process. It was a long process through us. It was a long process through stakeholders. And I think you got it all in there. 136 wonderful pages of it. And I'm very, very proud that, to share it. And so I guess that's my next question. Where are the citizens going to be able to find this when it's all said and done?
Okay, so we currently have a project page on the parkeronline.org, the town's main webpage. We'll also be putting this document, once adopted, on the town's website as, under the developer tab, and so it'll be visible right when the person goes to the website. So we'll have it on the website. We also will have a physical copy here at the town hall planning desk, as well as people can call us or email us, and we can email an electronic copy out.
Outstanding.
Other questions? Okay, we're going to go ahead and open it up for public comment at 7:38 PM if there's anyone here to address council on this item. Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment at 7:38 PM, and I'd entertain further discussion or a motion, please.
I move to approve ordinance number 3.326.2 on second reading.
Second.
We have a motion by Debbie, and we have a second by Josh. Council, when the box pops up, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Next item up is item 6B. This is ordinance number 9.302 on second reading. This is a bill for an ordinance approving the agreement regarding funding of major drainageway planning for Cherry Creek upstream of Cherry Creek Reservoir by and between Urban Drainage and Flood Control District, DBA Mile High Flood District, Southeast Metro Stormwater Authority, Town of Parker, and Douglas County. Jacob, you're going to be leading the way.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. The item you have before you tonight is an ordinance for an intergovernmental agreement for major drainageway planning on Cherry Creek. This planning study will start at the Cherry Creek Reservoir State Park property on the north, and it'll go down to the Scott Road or Bayou Gulch Road on the south. And through it, it'll go through Centennial, Arapahoe County, Douglas County, and the town of Parker. So this agreement is for $130,000 for master planning of the improvements of Cherry Creek from the reservoir to Scott Road, $20,000 by the town of Parker, $65,000 by the Mile High Flood District, $30,000 by SEMSWA, which services Arapahoe County and Centennial, and $15,000 by Douglas County. Additional funds may be incorporated into this by the Cherry Creek Basin Water Quality Authority to also look at the state park property.
Only we knew the chair.
And this study, the point for this study will be the Mile High Flood District. There was a previous planning study on Cherry Creek done by URS in 2004, and after 15 years, the stakeholders decided it was time for an update, and mostly to address new regulations, changes in the industry, include projects that have been completed over the last 15 years, and set new priorities and policies. In the past 15 years in town of Parker alone, we've done work on Cherry Creek at Cottonwood in 2005, Stroh in 2007, Pine in 2007, Hess in 2015, Norton Farms in 2017, and McCabe in the KOA property, which will happen next year. So this project will update the master plan with projects completed in the last 15 years, not only in Parker, but throughout the entire basin, identify needs and priorities moving forward in the next 15 years. It'll act as a guide to approach improving and stabilizing Cherry Creek. So with that, staff recommends approval of ordinance number 9.302, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thanks, Jacob. Questions, guys? Cheryl?
Yeah, Parker Water and Sand is heavily involved in this area. Are they not involved in this study?
Parker Water and Sand hasn't done any contributions to stabilizing Cherry Creek itself, but they are members of the Cherry Creek Basin Water Quality Authority, and they may, I guess, intervene in that regard. But they haven't been identified as a stakeholder for stabilizing Cherry Creek.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions, guys? No? All right, thanks, Jacob. We're going to go ahead and open it up for public comment at 7:42 PM if there's anyone here wishing to address council.
Come on, peeps.
Come on, scouts. No? They're like, wait, what? No? No? All right. We'll close public comment at 7:42, and I'll entertain further discussion or a motion, please.
I move to approve ordinance number 9.302 on second reading.
Second?
We have a motion by Josh and a second by Debbie. Council, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Y'all chose a good night to come because guess what? We are adjourned at 7:43 p.m.